Scooby-Doo. All right, this is technically take two. The first one I did, the sound wasn't rolling. What's up, friends, family, and fellow filmmakers? It's Tom here from Tomcat, and I'm back to break down a bit more about my directing process. So recently I've had a couple different filmmakers asking me, how do you go from making short films to feature films? How do you transition from making feature films or short films to commercials? How do you jump between different project to project? And how do you just wrap your head around all the logistical things that come along with making different types of films, different types of projects? I don't know if this makes the most sense to everybody, but for me, it's really helped in approaching any project I'm gonna shoot. Got an airplane. I should just set the drum set up again. There's a drum set right over there that I don't play. So the main mantra for me when I'm in pre-production for any project is get the first shot. What? What does that mean? That sounds stupid, but it's not. Anyway, it's not stupid for me. So my approach is always to think about the first shot, right? You don't make a movie by getting the entire thing at once, unless you're shooting it as a oneer, which is crazy, which also get the first shot would apply if the whole movie is one shot. You need to get the first shot to get the movie. But for me, as I've been doing my script breakdowns, as I've been reading the thing over and over, as I've been casting, as I've been crewing up, as I've been talking to all the different departments, it can get overwhelming trying to remember all of the different things you're gonna need to make this film. Now, when you're making a feature film, you're generally shooting it over multiple days. It's not just gonna be a one-day shoot. Usually it's gonna be at least 10 or maybe 15, or maybe if you're crazy, it'll be 8. There have been people that have done it on less. But for the most part, with a feature film, you're gonna approach the production for having a longer 2-week, 3-week schedule. Now, what this means is there's gonna be things that are gonna be kind of variables during week 1 that might come into place as you get to week 3. We started project without the entire cast locked, and as we've got through shooting the first week, actors have come on board, locations have come on board, different pieces of equipment have become available and been useful in making our films. Now, when I say get the first shot, what I start to focus on is what are the elements and what are the things that need to happen to get that first shot of the film. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean the first shot in the movie, but the first shot on the schedule. And I'm pretty hands-on with the producers and the production team when it comes to making the schedule. I like to set my first day up so it could be a victory, meaning I like to schedule the day so it's manageable, so all the shots on that schedule I can get and I can execute well, so I don't feel rushed, so the crew can start to flow together. We'll see what's gelling and we can get into a nice rhythm and momentum as we go into the other days of production. Gelling? Do I ever say gelling? What? So with this get the first shot approach, you'll see me every day. When I wake up and I get to set, I try to get there an hour and a half, 2 hours early before the trucks have arrived, before any of the crew have arrived, and I just walk through the first shot. Whether that's gonna be the blocking that I'm gonna imagine the actors and the cameraman kind of staging and crafting, or if the scene is just a one shot, or even if it's just an establishing or an insert. I get to set early and I map out that first shot. And for me, what this does, it's really a mental thing. It really kind of checks the box of saying, okay, I got a piece of the film on time, on schedule, it's been executed well, and that thing is for sure in the film. From a logistical standpoint, if you think about it, to get any shot, you're gonna need your camera. You're generally gonna want sound there. You're gonna need your lights. You're gonna need your cast. You're gonna need your production design. So if you worry about those elements just for the first shot, most likely those elements are gonna play into the second, into the third, into the whole first setup, into the whole first scene, and you're gonna have everything you need right there to make the day. This is also a similar approach I use when it comes to writing or when it comes to editing. For writing, when I say get the first shot, it's all about coming up with that log line. What's the first sentence? What's the first thing that I'm gonna be able to grip onto, that I'm gonna be able to say when I get to every single page, this is what the movie's about. And as you're going through your writing, I think to myself, just get the page, get the scene. So I'll write out the first scene. And when I have that first scene written, it's easy, you just move on to the second. When I think about writing the ending and the middle and all the dialogue and all the setups, it could bog you down and you'll never get started. It's like climbing a mountain. You can only do it step by step. And the same comes to editing for me. It's not about thinking about the entire timeline at once. When I first started making movies as a little kid and I had my Final Cut Pro on an eMac, I would sit there and I would try to envision the entire project at once before I even cut a frame. And what I would do is I'd bring clips into the timeline, I would be color correcting them, I'd be putting in sound design, I'd be trying to find music, and this would really slow me down. It wasn't until much later that I realized these timelines are duplicatable. You can make as many timelines as you want. You can start an edit here, you can copy it, paste it, start timeline 2, start timeline 3, and these things can continually be evolved and shaped and created, and it's not like the first cut is put in stone. So what I've been able to do as I've gotten older as an editor and as I've been able to approach making projects, it's all about getting that first shot. I'll just pick a shot from the sequence that I remember from production liking, or as I scrub through the dailies quickly, find a shot that just grabs my eye, and I'll put that in the timeline first. And I'll find the ins and outs that I like, and then I'll just grab the shot right after it, and then the shot after that, and the shot after that. And when you really think about this thing frame by frame and building from one piece to the next, it's a lot more manageable to approach editing big projects and finishing them in a productive manner. Now with all of this, it's important to say that I've always been surrounded by a great producing team. Jazz and I have been a production team for quite some time. As a producer, he lines up so many elements and so many things behind the scenes, so it allows me to be able to focus on getting that first shot and just focus on the elements needed to get the first frame executed. But behind the scenes, there's so many people working, whether it's the production manager, the producer, the coordinator, the transpo team, the lighting team, the art team. There are so many people working to get the shot set up. It allows me to focus on the basics and simplify the day. So that's it. That's all I got for this advice video. Get the first shot. Use this approach if you want when you go to make your next film, and just focus on getting that first shot and executing it to the max, knowing that there's gonna be another one, and another one, and another one. If there's any film tips and tricks you wanna learn, leave a comment below and we'll try to break it down for you. I'm excited to say that today we just wrapped up post-sound on a new short film. It's gonna be coming soon. We're also in development on a couple other different projects, more sketches coming soon. So if you like what we're doing, be sure to slap that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.